So good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew McAfee. I'm the VP here at the Claremont Chamber of Commerce. Joining me today is Megan Reed, the Regional Industry Specialist at the Hamilton County Education Service Center. Thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the Claremont Chamber, I want to extend a special thanks to both the Hamilton County and the Claremont County Education Service Centers for their collaboration and their partnership in creating this LinkedUp Connect program. This partnership is vital as we work together to bridge the gap between our public schools and the needs of our local employers. The purpose today is to introduce you all to LinkedUp Connect, explain how it connects employers with emerging talent, and help students find unique opportunities to explore different career paths. You'll see how LinkedUp Connect can facilitate workplace tours, career exploration activities, internships, mock interviews, and other initiatives to help students gain real-world experience while meeting the needs of our local employers. So thank you again for being here today. As I said earlier, this is being recorded. So if you happen to miss something, it will be available on our YouTube page after this morning. And I will now turn it over to Megan to walk us through the program.
Super. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate your help in coordinating this and getting it set up. I also want to say thank you to the Claremont County ESC that is a partner with us in this project, and just their help also in making connections and helping to promote and get the word out about LinkedUp. So my name is Megan Reed. I am the Regional Industry Specialist for the Workforce Innovation Network, which is a division of the Hamilton County Educational Service Center. One of our initiatives is the system LinkedUp that Andrew just described to you, and I'm going to show you the components of that more in detail and just kind of explain how this works. So today we are going to look at what is LinkedUp, who is using it, how does it work, and then how can your organization get involved. This is LinkedUp Connect. So this is just to give you a visual of what the initial landing page looks like. Students and employers access this a little bit differently, and I'll be explaining that as I walk through this presentation. But I just wanted to give you a visual of what the landing page looks like right now. The whole LinkedUp Connect initiative is actually a product of the Greater Cincinnati Business Advisory Council. And as you can see with the logos, this is a collaboration between the Hamilton County ESC and the Claremont County ESC, and there are 31 school districts that are also a part of this partnership and a large amount of businesses. We have meetings 4 times a year. Last in September was our last meeting, and we had right around 150 people participating and that were there as part of the meeting. So it's a pretty robust group. We're a working business advisory. We really want feedback from our business partners. It's not just to come sit and get, but we have 3 initiatives. We're looking at building partnerships, working with professional skills and creating experiences. So we have 3 different subcommittees that meet every one of those quarterly meetings to discuss what are our goals and how are we going to make this work together as partners. I want to talk about I start really early with what is LinkedUp and what is LinkedUp not, because I think it's really important. There's sort of some initial misconceptions as I've talked with people. So just let's get those, let's tackle those right off the board. So let me just start really quick with the short list of what it's not. It is not a job board. So LinkedUp is a tool for career exploration. That does not mean that there cannot be a connection to jobs after that career exploration opportunity for a student, but this is not primarily a place to go to post job postings. It is not available to all students and educators in the Greater Cincinnati region, but it is available to all students, I should say all, sophomores, juniors, and seniors that are in the 31 different school districts that we're working with, and I will show you a list of those school districts here in a few minutes. So it is a great way to connect. That is actually growing. We're at 31 right now and will be for this school year. but we are having lots and lots of conversations with others throughout the region that are interested in the work that we're doing. I also have taught career development for a long time, so I'm an educator by that's my training, and I've taught career exploration to students, and I always start with that third bullet point of there is no magic 8 ball when it comes to career exploration. So I thought I would throw that into this as well, but to know that I feel like this is even better because a magic 8 ball is just a like, sure, you'd be good at this, just like a career assessment system does not say poof, this would be your perfect match for a career or an experience, but it gives the students an opportunity to explore experiences that they do have aptitudes for, that they have interest in, and helps them decide, is this an area where that would be a good potential career path for me? So now let's look at what is LinkedUp. As I've said, it's a hub for regional career exploration opportunities, and it provides businesses with connections that could lead to employing students. So this provides, if you want to provide internships or co-ops, for example, this could provide sort of that short-term temporary you're possible connecting with them for a short-term period to determine like, hey, is this a student that we'd want to continue to work with? And if so, we really encourage and are excited about career opportunities or job opportunities that could happen after these experiences. So it just provides you with sort of that short-term temporary type of experience on your end as well that can be real advantageous. It is capable of reaching schools in 30, actually, we're at 31 school districts right now. It is supported by our participating school districts. So we have career connectors in our districts, plus we have leadership in each of those districts who have said, yes, we want to be a part of this. So it really is a collaboration and a partnership throughout the region between our school districts, our ESCs, and then our business partners. The system is focused on safety and security. We ask our businesses to sign a release form that just says, I realize I'll have some access to student information. I will only use that for LinkedUp Connect purposes. We have students and parents that are signing off saying, I realize that my students using the system, that we are sharing their personal information with business partners for the purposes of career exploration, and I give my consent. So that's really important to us, that safety and security is part of the process. Our system is locally built and operated, so it is built just for the purposes by a developer actually out of Indianapolis. We talk to them probably at least once every other week, and I probably email them a few times in between those discussions, just to let them know what are the tweaks that need to be made, what's something that we thought we liked, but now we want it to look different. So it's just nice because the system can be tweaked. It's not just something we have to live with. And we're doing that as we go because this is new. Our regional approach is new for this area, and we want to make sure we're doing it as best as possible to meet all of our partners' needs. It's also a data warehouse. So because of all of the things that are going to be posted and the students and the businesses interacting, we're going to be able to pull data from the system of what students are participating, how many experiences are being taken, students are engaging in, and so forth. So that's going to be really helpful for multiple reasons. One top reason we're looking at is from like a grant purpose. When we're looking to build this system and keep it robust and moving forward, we need funds for that. And we will be looking at grants, and this is going to really help us to collect some of that data for that to happen. And then it's a tool for students to make career-related relationships that are going to impact their lives and just impact communities. I felt this is a really important quote to me. It just shows the support from our government in Ohio leadership. This is Lieutenant Governor Husted made a quote earlier, just about a month or two ago, and it was regarding the high school internship program. But the first sentence that he said, this is how we keep our young talent in Ohio, by connecting them to employers and career paths before they leave high school. And then he goes on to talk about the success of the tech internship program. But I just want to point out, even from our government leaders in Ohio, they're seeing a real importance of making these types of connections that we are trying to provide throughout the LinkedUp system as well to our area. So what are the benefits to business partners? Like, why be part of this? One, it's streamlined efficiency. I have been in this work. I used to work in Butler County for Butler Tech for about 20 years. And through working with my business partners, I heard over and over, like, we want to connect and we would love to create opportunities with students, but making those connections is not always easy. And we don't, most of the companies I was working with did not have a person that was really designated to make all those connections, and it can be a lot of work. So this would be an easy way, streamlined efficiency, to make those connections. It also allows a business to make personalized, what we call experientships, which is just career exploration. I'll show you examples of that in a minute, based on a company's capacity and expertise. So I've thrown out the word internships already, and you might be thinking, yeah, we're not ready for that. That's fine. We need a robust amount of opportunities, a range of opportunities in the system. We need things from guest speakers, just to talk, professionals talking about their career path and how they got there and what education and training they have, what their job is like today. We need everything from that all the way up to like an internship, co-op, pre-apprenticeship. All of those things are going to be important because our students are all at different points and they all need different types of experiences. It also just helps to build stronger futures for our area and our communities, helps to develop a talent pipeline, makes them aware of careers in your industry, and again, just a contribution to the betterment of the community as well. So I brought up the word experientships, which is a made-up word that is actually made up by Donna Laver. If you have met Donna before, she used to be with Forest Hills. She now works at the Hamilton County ESC because has such a passion for this work and to make it regional. And I think it's just a great term because it's an umbrella term that means all of those things on your screen. So short-term career exploration, you might think of job shadowing. You see all the other examples there as well. Pre-apprenticeships, coming in for lunch and learns, providing co-ops and internships, company tours, all of those things that would be student facing that students could engage in and choose, looking at their own availability and their own schedule, they could determine what they want to participate in. We also have educator-facing experientships in the system, and educators will see opportunities that students do not. So you could provide a company tour opportunity for educators to come either collaborate, like as a group of educators, or for educators to coordinate so that their students could come in something more like a field trip opportunity. Educators may be looking for guest speakers in the system, or potential professional development like teacher externships for educators to get into the system. But the system can house and will be looking for experientships for both students and educators. So the next step to this information session is an onboarding. And when we do onboarding, we dive deeper into what could these experientships look like, what capacity does your organization have, and what could you realistically provide that we could put into the system. So we do help walk you through that a little more, but just want to make you aware that students and educators will be accessing the system for opportunities. Here's some educator-focused experientships that have just happened in the last year through Hamilton County ESC. We've worked with Christ Hospital to do Healthcare in a Day. We actually have that coming up again. We've done this will be our third time. It's coming up next Friday. And that will be educators and students coming to Christ Hospital to learn about all different healthcare opportunities. We just had Health Force the other day. That's a field trip opportunity, and it's kind of like a career fair for students to learn about careers and organizations that are in healthcare. That was at Sharonville Convention Center. It was very well attended by about 800 students the other day. We've had STEM related visits where you can see we visited TechSolve, Interfab, and Atlas Air, and AMIP helped us to coordinate that. And we just got a big charter bus and took teachers around to those different businesses just to help get them on site and to see what that business is like. It really helps them to talk to students about careers when they've had that firsthand experience with a tour. So those are just some examples. Manufacturing Day visits just happened in October, and we help just lend support to AMIP to coordinate those. So you can see there's just all kinds of different opportunities. Those are just a few that I threw up just for food for thought. We are seeking experiences in all industries. So you can see on the screen, there is nothing at this point that I'm saying, no, we don't need that. We're full. We're looking for all career clusters. There's 16 national career clusters. We're looking for all of those to be covered throughout the area of Claremont and Hamilton counties right now, and potentially expanding into Butler and Warren County, hopefully in the near future. We have schools in those areas that we're having talks with right now too. So who has access? Student-wise, it's sophomores, juniors, and seniors will primarily be accessing the system and accessing those individual types of opportunities. Educators will have access. So teachers, school counselors, and administrators will all be able, and those will be high school and middle school educators. So while only sophomores, juniors, and seniors access the system, you potentially could have access to even younger students for like field trips and things through the educator side, because the middle school teachers will potentially have access as well. And then our businesses that have access we're looking for all business throughout the greater Cincinnati region. We don't have county lines, state lines really that we're concerned about. That just depends on a student's capacity and how much they would want to travel. And we'll talk about that more in a minute, but it's also free. So I haven't mentioned that word yet, but the system is not something that we are charging our business partners for. It is free to post those opportunities and to utilize the help of the Hamilton County and Claremont County ESCs to help and guide you in this process. So here are the schools that we are working with. You see the first two columns are primarily, those are Hamilton County, except for we also have Lakota Local, which is in Butler County. And then in my third column, those are primarily Claremont County schools, except I have Forest Hills in there for some reason. I need to move that. That's a Hamilton County school. But anyway, you can see the region is pretty well covered by students that will be using the system. Currently in the process, students' information is being loaded into the system so their accounts can be created, and educators, their accounts are also being created and they're being introduced to the system. So right now, as of today, students are not in the system yet, but they will be like very, very soon. The wheels are rolling, and it just depends on how long it takes each district to get all those parts and pieces in place. And I talked about the release forms of students and parents. We have to make sure all that information, those things get signed and everything's accounted for before a student can be loaded. So really, we're all just waiting on the logistics right now to fall in place. We foresee students to be in sometime in November, and then just that will be ongoing, more students added throughout the following 2 to 3 months. I would say in January, we should be rolling pretty strong after Christmas break. So some key components that I want to talk about in LinkedUp. I mentioned earlier, I have some experience at Butler Tech working with work-based learning. I actually worked in the workforce services department. Donna was from Forest Hills, and she did a lot of work there, similar, providing experiences for students. And both of us, with our experience, we took that together to help create the LinkedUp system and decide what are some barriers that we've experienced through those roles that we want to overcome with the system. And one is, how will students access it? So if they have to go to an outside website, we know it would be like out of sight, out of mind, unfortunately. And then we'd have to keep driving them there. And that can be hard to do. So this is going to live, the LinkedUp Connect link is going to live inside of their learning management system of their school. So schools use Google Classroom, Schoology, Canvas, maybe Blackboard. So that's where they can find a lot of their classwork lives there, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like. So this is my son's actual learning management system that he uses. He's a sophomore. You can see all of his courses are in there, and then the LinkedUp Connect logo would be there if he were a student at Claremont Northeastern. So here's what the logos are going to look like, though. They're bright, colorful, and they will have the logo of their school. So it looks very personalized to students that this is something for them that's been created. All right, this is what experiences look like. This is the snapshot, kind of the snippet that students get when they're in the system. They go in, they have an account created for them. Once they're in the system, they go ahead and complete their profile. And part of their profile in completing that is that they do a career assessment. We're using a junior achievement career assessment. It will narrow down what their interests are, and then it will identify what experiences would be a best fit for the students due to their career assessment results and their location. So this is why we, as you can see on the previous screen, we have Claremont County. Those are just a few examples, obviously, but we have a lot of Claremont County schools in the system, and we want Claremont County businesses in the system so that we can easily make those connections for students. They're always looking for things, obviously, that are in close proximity to where they live and where they go to school. So you can see through these experiences on the screen, just some of the initial information that is shared with them. This one I snipped and threw in. It looks a little bit larger than the rest, but I wanted you to see all of these are unpaid. This is paid. So students will be able to just get a real quick snapshot of like title, where is it located, what career clusters does it align with. And then if they're interested, they hit learn more. That will bring up a screen that looks very similar to this, that has a description, what responsibilities, what qualifications are required, and they can just learn more about it. From there, this button is actually at the bottom, but it just got to, I couldn't put it in there because it was making my screen too small. So there they will click Connect Now. When they decide they want to connect now, then the business will be notified that the student is interested in this experience. They think they want to learn more about it. You'll get an email. There's also a way to manage this information through the LinkedUp system, but there's multiple ways that you can do that on the business side. This is one of the ways within the system that you can manage it. So you'll see in the blue ribbons, these are some of the experiences that are in the system. And then this is just from us piloting. These are not real students' names, but the students who have applied or said they want to connect, you can click on their name straight from that, and it'll take you right into their central application, which looks like this. So as you can see, it will give some information on the student, their address, their contact information. This is why we ask you to sign the release form, because you have their personal information and we want to make sure that it's only used for appropriate purposes. But there's also a central application tab you can see here, and there are some questions that the students will be answering as well. So it's much like a job application, and it'll give you further information about that student to help you figure out, is this a student we want to connect with further? And if you do, then you can take it from there. And if it's appropriate to hold interviews for that position, you're able to do that because you have the student contact information. If it's something more like you're hosting a Zoom to just share information about your business or industry, then you would have that student's information to reach out to them to say, here's the Zoom link, here's the day and time. We can't wait to connect with you. So how you use this would really just depend on your intents and purposes of using the system. And again, we're looking for people for companies to participate all across the board. We need all types of experientships. Here is a number of the businesses and industry sector partners and different partnerships that we're working with. So I just wanted you to get a glimpse of some of the businesses we already have in the system. And I would love to have, we are welcoming more. As I already said, we're accepting experientships from all different industries currently. So I wanted to say that again because I felt like it was really important that you once again could see that we really, in building this robust system and meeting students' needs, we need experientships in all industries. So how do you get started? You can submit your interest by completing what we call a LinkedUp Community Connector form. You can scan that QR code if you're able, and you can complete a form that just says, I'm interested and I want to learn more. You will then get an email from me that gives you further information of how to connect. Just a reminder, we are building for the 24-25 school year still. So we'll be accepting businesses into the platform really throughout this school year as we continue to try to build this stronger and stronger. I do hold weekly virtual information sessions that are on Tuesday mornings at 8:30. If you complete the community connector form, I will definitely send you information about those virtual sessions. It is the same thing that I just provided to you. But if you have colleagues or other people within your organization that you think it would be beneficial for them to hear the information, just know that there's ongoing sessions. And as Andrew mentioned, there's also going to be a video of this. So that's also something that you can share out. Our next step are onboarding sessions. So this is where we really dive in. We create your business account. We help you think about what experientships you might provide and provide resources that will help you with that. We have upcoming onboarding sessions on November 11th at Hamilton County ESC. I'm holding a session. And at Claremont County ESC, we will have a session on November 19th. So just so you know, those are coming. Again, that's information that I'll gladly send to you once you just give me your information, either through that community connector form, or at the bottom, you also see I have an email address, which is workforce@hcesc.org. So if you want to shoot me an email as well, just to say, hey, I saw your info session, I'm really interested, or might be interested, but I have questions first, whatever it might be, you can communicate with me that way too to learn more. And then we also have a LinkedIn, sorry, account. HCESC Workforce Innovation Network is where we post all information about like LinkedUp and try to keep our business partners informed of what's going on. So that is that's LinkedUp. Do you have any questions?
I don't see any takers.
All right. Maybe I just covered it all, or maybe I just threw out so much you're trying to soak it all in. I hope.
Well, thank you, Megan, for walking
Yeah,
us through that. Like I said, we recorded this, so it'll be available afterwards. And if any of you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Megan directly. You can reach out to me, and we can all connect. And stay tuned for more details on the session that Megan will be doing at the Claremont County ESC in November.
super. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Appreciate your time.